Hey students, I wanted to go over the ceremonial speech assignment so that you can complete that by the deadline. Let me go ahead and do a share screen really quick and we can look at the Blackboard. It has been sent out as you've you need to make sure you're also, I sent you a reminder today and it was also sent out last week. Let's take a look now at the ceremonial speech assignment. We've got a revised schedule. Here's the assignment. It was sent out on November 13th. And then also it's located over here on the left hand. Let's see here, go to public speaking. It's also located right here. Okay, well, I've got it open here and I'm going to shut that up. It was sent out on November 13th. It was assigned in class on November 15th, and it's due when we come back from Thanksgiving. We have the presentation dates on November 27th, 29th, and December 4th. And after that, we're done. All right. So I'm going to post this link to this video right here for you. There is a brainstorming in addition to that, that you can take a look of ceremonial speech assignments. And then there's the point value deductions document as well that you can go through. It looks like that thing is still loading. Let's see if we can get it to load. Okay, here we go. So these are the different options that you have for your speech, and there's subsequent organizational patterns provided in this document for you. So you can give, let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit. You can give a speech of introduction. You can introduce a famous person, and I'll give some examples, a famous athlete or a famous actor, or maybe your parent. There's some sort of ceremonial occasion that you're going to be introducing that individual, your boss or a coworker, your best friend, a writer. Some of this can be like a hypothetical fictitious scenario. So maybe you're introducing one of your favorite authors who's deceased. And so sometimes it's good before you begin the speech to give us a little bit of context of what is going on here. I'm going to be introducing like for me, I would be like, I'm going to introduce my favorite speaker, Barbara Jordan, and introducing her to another thing. Person that's a individual that you really look up to, or even a historical figure. Then you've got this option where you're giving a speech of acceptance of an award. It could be an athletic award or a scholarship award. It could be an award that you have created. I've gotten some really cool speeches where students have crafted their own award. And so anyway, here, those are some examples. Or you could be presenting an award. So here you're accepting the award. Here you can present the award. Now, if you want to pair up with a colleague, feel free to do that. It could be a situation where you're presenting the award and your colleague is accepting it, and just have that all pre-planned. And then sometimes it might be helpful to let me know you're going to do that. These are instance one backstory or buddy or roasting them. These are kind of roast. The hardest speech I ever gave, quite frankly, was when I roasted the mayor of San Marcos, and I had just like recovered from a broken ankle injury, and it was hard. I'm used to doing a policy speech, and so I had to come up with jokes. In fact, I may have that video. Maybe I'll include that in this thing. It was the hardest because you're pulling off humor, right? So you got to understand, is the timing of my jokes going to be spot on? Is everybody going to understand my joke? And is the joke appropriate for the occasion? So there's a lot of moving parts to that type of speech. Eulogies or tribute speeches. So this would be an instance where you give she talked about all and behind that, the forests, and it was just very moving. In fact, I kind of felt like when she finished her speech, everyone was kind of looking around like, are you crying too? It was very moving. Some of the best speeches I've gotten that are eulogies are my dual credit students. They'll give a not a eulogy, they'll give a speech of, what is it? Let me point to this. Hold on a second here. They'll give a tribute speech to their mom or their dad. And so this would be a tribute speech. I remember one time I walked into a classroom and a student, this is pre-pandemic, and a student came up to me. He was a dual credit student. He was crying. And I'm like, what's wrong? Let me shut off my phone. And he says, well, I just want to thank you for the fact that you gave me this assignment. He struggled speeches, you really want to focus on the overcoming obstacles section. This is one of those speeches where when you take life's hits, those become an asset to the presentation. What did your grandmother overcome, or your father? Give us a really vivid depiction of those scenarios and what that did in terms of creating the fabric of the human element of their virtues, their qualities, and then what's the takeaway for you as the speaker, but more importantly for the audience. And these speeches are all about the other person, not, you can tell what the takeaway is for you, but it should be more, what does this teach the audience? And these are very powerful. Now, don't pick the speech if you can't pull it off without crying. All right, so you got to really think that through. Am I going to be able to pull this off? Now, it can be emotional and you may have a couple of tears at the end, but you really want to focus on being able to pull this off for the audience. After dinner speeches, these like the function of this speech. And then you've got speeches of inspiration. It could be a sermon, it could be a rally, it could be a nomination of a class president or a school board president or a member of your student organization, or it could even be a commemorative address. Okay, there should be more to this paper. Let me see, what's the deal here? No, I'm thinking I divided this out for you guys. So now let me pull this one up.